The Duke of Sussex is under pressure to end his megabucks podcast deal with Spotify after it was accused of promoting anti-vaxxer content. The platform is home to COVID jab skeptic Joe Rogan's podcast The Joe Rogan Experience, as well as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's HYPOCRISY audio. Just 4 months ago, Harry hit out at news and social media outlets for peddling lies about vaccines, claiming the only way to overcome COVID was to break the system of misinformation. And he has also openly begged for vaccine equity, saying the vaccine should be distributed to everyone everywhere. The Duke is now facing calls to step back from Spotify over the hypocrisy of working alongside Joe Rogan's podcast. But royal biographer Angela Levin believes he does not care and will never leave the money-making gig. Angela told, "Harry has been accusing many countries, including the United Kingdom, for not doing enough to vaccinate people around the world in poor countries. Now here he is working and earning money from a company, who have employed someone, who is an anti-vaxxer. It doesn't make any sense, but it does conform with his regular hypocrisy." Spotify has been waiting more than a year for Meghan and Harry to produce further podcast content, having released just one 35-minute episode so far. But any material they produce from now on will have to compete for hits against The Joe Rogan Experience, Spotify's most listened to podcast. Its host has suggested young people don't need the COVID vaccine, which Angela Levin believes is the exact opposite to what Harry has plugged. On whether he will reconsider his podcast, Angela, who spent a year working with Harry for an authorized biography, said, "I think there's no chance Harry would leave Spotify. 1. Because he has not left Netflix, even though it has been incredibly rude about his mother and his father and all the royal family. He doesn't seem to care. He also now has quite a reputation for being a hypocrite after lecturing us not to fly but flying himself on a private plane. He's been very angry about the lack of access to vaccines in poorer countries, and is working with someone who is campaigning the exact opposite." It comes after Harry and Meghan previously caused a stir by signing a £112 million deal with Netflix, despite anger over the way his mum Diana was portrayed in its hit drama series The Crown. Meanwhile, rock veteran Neil Young, 76, has demanded that Spotify, which has 172 million subscribers, withdraw all his music over its ties to Joe Rogan. In an open letter, since deleted, he slammed the giant for spreading fake information about vaccines. Last night, a source said of Harry refusing to cut ties with Spotify after they've aired anti-vaxxer material is incredibly two-faced. If he was that principled, and meant what he said, he'd cut ties, even if at a personal financial cost. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have settled into a new life in Montecito in California, bought an £11 million house, and secured lucrative multi-million-pound deals with Netflix and Spotify. But after only one episode of HYPOCRISY audio, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly under pressure to make more. The royal couple, who have an outstanding $9.5 million, £7 million, mortgage on their home according to public documents, have been warned by the Mail on Sunday's assistant editor Kate Mansi to work for the upkeep of their expensive lifestyle. Speaking to Palace Confidential on Mail Plus, Miss Mansi said, "We've had one episode of the podcast, that's it. We thought we might hear something about it by now. Perhaps they haven't delivered what maybe some of the TV executives might have expected. Yes, there's some reasonably big names, but they are going to want bang for their buck, as the Americans say, and if that's not being delivered, they're going to start looking at the contract." Host Joe Elvin added, "I just think if I was as rolling in cash and living in a mansion as Harry and Meghan are, I would find it very hard to be motivated to do any work." Ms. Mansi continued, "There's a mortgage, isn't there, on that property? I expect they do need to work. They've got this massive mansion, but it's not all paid for. Their lifestyle is very expensive, and if they want to carry on acting like these super celebrities, they're going to have to start bringing the money in." Ms. Elvin noted, "They need to pump out some content." It comes as royal commentator Omid Scobie claimed after months of leave for the royal couple, they are getting ready for a busy period. He said royal fans will see why their move to the US was so important to them. Speaking to Good Morning America, Mr. Scobie said, "One of the lessons learned by the couple was it's okay to slow down. We saw them jump from one big project to the next, especially when they moved over to the US, but they're on parental leave at the moment, enjoying that important family time from home. But we are about to enter a very busy period for the couple when they do return to work. We will see those first projects from Spotify, the Netflix project coming out, and of course their own work from their charitable organization HYPOCRISY. That's something they really want to be on the ground for. We know they're at their best when they're interacting with people on those special engagements." He added, This is finally going to be a chance to see them showing us what they're doing in the US and why that move was so important for them.